Greetings, survivors. I want to show to you 7 days to die modders out there how to test loot containers. Can be quite difficult to test because if you just spawn a container in the game or in the prefab editor, it's not lootable. So what you want to do is go into editing tools and go into the prefab editor. And what you're going to do is create a region with a bunch of containers so we can loot them. So first of all, I'm here. Let me clear everything on my inventory, and I'm going to go onto the prefab browser here. Press ask, go to prefab browser, click create new prefab. Okay. Now the prefab is, the world is empty. I'm gonna select something here, pressing Z, and I'm gonna make a region of 5 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 25 blocks. So I press U to bring the creative menu. I'm gonna search for some container that I want to try out. Let's say working stiff box. So shift click, it's here, yield it, so it's in my hand, and then press L, and all the selection is now filled with this container. Okay. Once the selection is filled, go back to the prefab browser and click save. So you have to give it a name. I'm gonna give it working stiffs and click save. Now the trick here is that you have to come find um, find your prefab, because we're on the new prefab thing. It doesn't work like that. So find your prefab, and it says here the size of the prefab, for example, and load that prefab into the vault. Okay, there's vault. I still have this selection here. Press Z anywhere, press backspace to unload the selection. So this is my prefab. Now that I have a prefab loaded, and I can change things here. Well, let's come here and get a different container, for example. So Shift Z on one side, Shift Z on the corner of the other side, and press L again, and now all boxes are the second type. And I can come here and save it again. And now that I'm working stiff, that save is good to go. I had a message here. So you come here into debug tools and click playtest. That's going to throw it into a world where that can be tested, and that works for slippers, for example. It works for containers, it works for everything. All right. So my prefab is loaded there. We have a test loot container. We have a trader, and we can come here. And you see this, these are the car part boxes. It's the second one I selected. So you can test them for loot. You can like do a bunch of them and see what it happens. Now, you go back into the debug menu and click back to editor. That's going to throw you back to the prefab editor. You doing the stuff you're doing. You can make changes there. So that's my prefab editor. So car part boxes, replacing the work stiff boxes I had before, despite the fact that uh, my place is called working stiffs. So I'm going to do something here. I'm going to select here. I'm going to do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Select here. Go back to working stiffs. Okay, so now we have 5 rows of 10 each, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna grab some secure chests. What is the secure chest called? Wooden chest, Apache. Okay, dev mode. secure storage chest. Grab the secure storage chest. These are player tests. So just place some one at the end of each road here. And Shift Z. Actually, I don't think I even need any Z at all. So now I have the whole thing again. 5 rows, 10 boxes each, and then a secure chest in front of it. Press Ask. Come here into prefab browser and save. So prefab working saved. The star that was here that indicating that it had a change is gone. The size is 5 by 1 by 11. And there are 50 loot inside it. Okay, go into debug tools, playtest. Gonna be thrown back into the playtest mode again. I'm showing this because I think it's a nice way of trying out probabilities and stuff. Let me bring here creative and clean my tool belt here. Then you can grab everything. And I suggest you make the timer for the container non-existent. 0 or as small as you can get. I never tried to 0, to be honest. Go into that secure storage chest is locked. Okay. Never mind then. I thought it would not be locked, but it is. So I've got some storage chests here. Can I get the secure storage chest? Will that work? Never mind. Okay. And then you just put everything you looted there. Sort it out. And you can have a nice, you can check the probability. So 10 of each gave me this. You should have a more or less indication of what that should contain. So that's my tips on testing loot containers. I hope you enjoyed and thank you for watching.